Hey, what is going on, Freedom Fighters? Welcome back to another We Are Change Wednesday here on Break the Chains Media. Today is September 17th, 2025, and I'm your host, Corey. We're going to get into it all here right now. Hopefully, everyone can hear me, and it looks like we're looking good. We are looking good. Every time I always make sure everything's looking good. We're thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. I think we're good. But, no, we are going to be doing a quick, full-on power hour breakdown, but we're gonna do it in 30 or 40 minutes because I've got a lot of things to do later. But I wanted to get this video out, and I wanted to make sure we dispel and break down and eliminate any questions and like I said in my last couple streams, last night's Tyranny Response Tuesday and on Monday. Everything's fluid and everything is evolving, and so many different things are happening so fast all at once. And being real, being honest, we're never going to know everything, and all we can do is grab and gravitate to the most logical, most reasonable, most fact-checked and evidence-backed outcomes in the unfortunate assassination of Charlie Kirk and what happened there. And like I said, we still have a lot to we are waiting with bated breath. Let's put it that way. The fact that the suspect right now, the Robinson character, is in protected custody right now, and I'll tell you what, if he goes Jack Ruby and if it goes Lee Harvey Oswald, death assassin, there's a whole nother problem that's on our hands. Okay, but we are gonna break down all of the looming, more outlandish thoughts and conspiracies in the realm, in the space right now. A lot of these are being had by a lot of outlandish theories, a lot of ridiculous, in my personal opinion, quite ridiculous, quite unsubstantiated. The fact that I believe that Charlie Kirk was killed, was assassinated by a shooter. However, we have to question everything, and I was having a conversation with some of my other activists, and four questions come to mind, and we're going to get into all that here, and we're also going to talk about some Colorado issues, some things happening in Colorado, how we continue this mindset, how we continue this process forward, and how we make sure that we don't get lost in the sauce, as it were. So if this is the first time joining Break the Chains Media, hit that thumbs up button, hit that follow button. We do live streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights here on Break the Chains Media, on Rumble, on YouTube, and on X. So any of those places you can find me. I also have Instagram account, Break the Chains Media, and you can also check out breakthechains.media. That is the website. I was working on it earlier. It's not up to date yet, but it is in the process. We are moving forward. For all of those who follow the streams and follow the channel, yeah, we are moving forward in this. So good on you for that. But we are going to go right into it, folks. If you wanted to also check out some Realm Walker hot sauce, I do have hot sauce available. Follow Realm Walker hot sauce. Few different flavors here. But, I make this because it's a passion project and I enjoy it. And it's really damn good hot sauce. But that is what we do here. But we're going right into it. And I wanted to start with a little tidbit of information, right? Before we go into this Kirk conversation, conspiracy land, because it does weigh you down, folks. I do want to live in a little bit of positivity and add a little bit of light into this scenario, and really light that fire under you. Make sure you are aware of the larger wheels at play, a larger positions, all the chess pieces that are moving right now. A lot of things are happening. So, from Pacific Northwest Guerrilla, I think this is a very reasonable thread. I think it's a very, regardless of the type of world we're living in, regardless of whether Kirk was assassinated or not, whether we were in war or not, whether we're the globalists and all these other things, all the worries of the world. All of that is irregardless when it comes to making sure that you are taking care of yourself and training yourself to be the best version that you can be, right? And basically, this conversation, I mean, we're talking about how, making sure that we're getting involved in our community and around each other. And we're not talking about militarized war tactics. I do not want to promote that mindset. However, like the old saying goes, it's better to be a warrior in a farm than a farmer in a war. So, with that logic and with that mindset, we have to make sure that we are prepared for anything and everything that may come our way. So, with that being said, if you are in this era to promote yourself, to do this thing, to be this stand-up warrior for truth and warrior for the Bill of Rights and the rule of law, and we are aware that there's a direct threat to our constitutional republic or our way of life, being able to ruck a 10-mile hike in the mountains with gear and navigate your way out without a cell phone is a pretty valuable skill. So I posted this thread. It's a great thread, and I read through it, but talking about, why are we training and what do you want to be better at? I mean, he hits a lot of really good points. We have to break down a lot of good conversations, the different variable weapons and different variable understanding of said weapons, right? How to network with people, the types of groups that you want to be involved with, how to find the people, churches, gyms, family, training classes, and we have to vet these people and be aware of these people and network with like-minded individuals who would understand the goals that we want in the end, right? And this is a big thing. Can't take away from this. I mean, you can't avoid this, right? The fact that in the internet and in this world today, there are glow ops. There are glowies, Fed agents, right? They are spies. Cell phone's also a spy. Don't do or say anything you don't want to read back to you in a courtroom. And this is the world, this is the modern day world that we live in. I say a lot of shit on the internet. I say a lot of shit on my phone. Your phone is a 24/7 wiretap audio surveillance device. Treat it as such. But at the same time, we have to make sure that as we network and as we are aware, we have to know what we're up against, folks. Okay, and this one's a great one, okay? Fear of being late to the game. You are fucking late to the game. You are going to suck at things. You may be fat, lame, and untrained. So what? Get the fuck off yourself and start training now. No one cares. Put in the work. And as stupid as that sounds, just get over yourself. And it's okay to suck at things. Absolutely. Cheers to that. Okay? Props to that. Get out of your head. No one starts out perfect at everything. Everyone was out of shape at one point. Get over yourself. And I say that out loud. I say that to myself, but I also say that to everyone listening. PNW Gorilla, excellent channel to follow. Highly recommend. This is a fantastic thread, and I appreciate everything he's doing. That's why we're going through this, because I understand and I'm aware of, this mindset, right? You are fat and slow. Training with other men or, anyone once a week, once a month, or once a year is not enough. You need to be working out on your own. Stop making excuses. You need to be working out regularly. Throw a 35-pound frame backpack. Walk 3 to 6 miles every other week at a fast pace. Try not to run, hydrate, and take care of your feet. This is all very viable information, because if and when, this dystopian worldview becomes a reality, God forbid, we don't want it, but if it does, you got to be ready. Okay? Number 7, drama. Understand that real life isn't like it on the internet. You're not going to be able to find men who agree with you on every single thing. Real life is you have to agree to disagree and move on. Heated debates are fine. Arguing is fine. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to accidentally offend someone. Apologize and move on. You need to understand that it's okay to not be clones of copies of each other. Drama is stupid. Pretend to be the adult you claim to be on the internet. Okay? Yep. LARPers. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of different tactics, a lot of different things. But I would continue this whole thing. It's super fantastic, but I don't want to linger too much on this. I definitely recommend finding PNW Gorilla on X. I did share this post. It is part of my thread. If you follow me, you can find it there. But I encourage everyone to jump on there and support him and this effort of better acknowledgement, better understanding of the situation, okay? And then before we, like I said, we're going to jump into the Kirk conspiracy land at the end of this segment. We got about 20 more minutes, but I wanted to very quickly do a shout out to what's happening in Colorado here. Folks, if you enjoy this kind of conversation, quick rattled off chats, you let me know, because everything on Break the Chains Media is fluid. Last night I did an hour and a half ranting, a little bit more loose and a little bit more, off the cuff. And this one's a little bit more structured, a little bit more toned and tightened, down to the point. So you let me know what you think, folks, in the chat, in the comments. Leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Share this video with some other people, people in Colorado, Denver metro area. This is out for you. So we are going to jump into that. Colorado does deserve better. We are talking about Colorado voters are dissatisfied with Democrat. Polis and Hickenlooper and Bennett can't hide. This is a whole thing from the Republican Party. Voters are dissatisfied with Democrats, and it's boiling over across the country. With trust in leaders at rock bottom, 70% of voters say they're extremely dissatisfied with the direction that things are headed in Colorado and call for real change louder than ever. It's clear that the status quo is crumbling. From economic woes to broken promises, people are done waiting for scraps. Okay? I said it right here. You can follow me. But sounds like a great time to field some real constitutional liberty-minded candidates. Where are they? Over a dozen clawing at the governor's seat? No one running for lower offices? And not one person running on addressing the elephant in Colorado, which is election integrity and our voter rolls? Uh-oh. We're not looking good here in Colorado if we don't have loud and vocal representative voices running against the communists in our state. What do we expect? If we're reading articles like this from Colorado Republican Party and the Denver Post wrote about it as well. If we're seeing articles like this, but we're not getting people that run against it, okay? Then what are we actually even doing? I posted it here. Okay? It's not healthy. This is not looking good for the midterms coming up, at least. The Kirk assassination aside, I think we're going to see a monumental turnout when it comes to voters and the voter roll switching, because in light of what happened to Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, but that shouldn't be a reason why our votes are shifted. We need to field effective and reasonable liberty-minded candidates, limited government candidates, people that focus on the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and bringing us back to a rule of law of a constitutional republic. That's what we need. We need to field proper candidates, right? But I wanted to jump down here. Where was it? Colorado issue. We got Colorado issue. Another Colorado issue. Jefferson County Board of Commissioners virtual town hall. Listen up, Colorado. Listen up, Jefferson County. Virtual town hall on October 2nd. At 6 to 7 p.m. You can register on Zoom. Link is right here. Their topics are talking about the impacts of the federal executive order on Jefferson County, homelessness, sheltering during extreme weather events, which is going to be during the winter. So I linked it up here. The conversations are in the threads, in the thread below. But this is what we're talking about. You got to be vocal in your local issues. Be vocal on the local issues. Show up, get involved, be a part of your local community, your local activists who are rallying together against common enemies, and focusing on common goals and common tactics and topics that we can push forward to make a sound campaign of a candidate or an electorate, or however you want to see it. But we have to be actively involved in that. So this, September 28th at 1 p.m., the Rocky Mountain Reckoning. We are meeting up. We got a lot of people involved with this. Hopefully we're going to get a great turnout. If you are in the Denver metro area and you want to be a part of the change and you want to see Colorado flip from blue to red, at least stop the communist creep. At least stonewall the Marxists in the House and stop them from passing ridiculous, unconstitutional, and infringing on our rights bills and legislation. Show up and be a part of the conversation. September 28th at 1 p.m. at the Works. The link is in the comments below. You can find it here from Eventbrite. We're done being quiet. We're done feeling alone. We're done settling, watching Colorado slip away from the values that we love. So this is the vibe that we're trying to distill in this, okay? We want to make sure that Colorado is no longer being ran by communists, and we need to be involved. So what we want to do is show up and have conversations with like-minded individuals, people in the area. I posted it. Ash in Colorado posted it. So many other patriots in Colorado posted it. But this is the mindset that we have to have if we want to make a change, okay? We have to ride this energy, okay? If Colorado voters are dissatisfied with Democrats, Polis, Hickenlooper, and Bennett, we got over a dozen Republican candidates for governor, but no one's running for Secretary of State or Attorney General or lower Senate seats or lower House Representative seats, or at least we haven't heard of them. I think one person announced, one candidate announced for a House seat, a state seat, but we got a lot more open seats than that, so we have to be involved, right? We have to be aware of that, and that's what we need to do, okay? If you appreciate that little rundown, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Colorado is important to me. I live in Colorado, but we have to, band together. Colorado residents, we got to band together, right? I do want to quickly. So this is what is this? This is tying to the larger issue at hand. But folks, I wanted to take a beat because I know it's a lot to take in. But yeah, Colorado is. It is being run. It is being corrupted, and we cannot lose sight. We cannot lose our mission, and our mission is to make sure that liberty is first. Put liberty in the forefront. Put freedom in the forefront. The Bill of Rights. Limited government ideals. Okay. Colorado right now is legislating 180 degrees away from that principle, like complete opposite of what we need to be addressing. So I encourage everyone that's in the area, at least follow my channels, at least whatever channel works for you, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, X, Rumble, whatever works for you. I obviously post a lot on X and Instagram, but start having these conversations with people. Start getting involved. And then you can see what works in what you can do in your capacity in your community, because that's the next step, is putting people where their strengths are in involvement with other local like-minded people. So that's what we need to do. So I hope to see you there. I hope to see you soon. But definitely reach out and stay in touch. Moving right along, folks, we are going to get back into it. We're going to go into tinfoil hat land. Tinfoil hat. Warning, alarms are going off. Siren. I'm letting everyone know this is going into the deep dive area of the conspiracy land. Warning. So this is the edge of the iceberg. Okay, this is grounded in reality. For me, this is grounded in reality. Okay, so this was back in August, before Kirk was even assassinated. Okay. 11 people were charged with attempted murder and terrorism-related offenses and the discovery of 9 firearms inside a Dallas house that was just wild. Among them, a transgender woman named Autumn Hill was wanted in connection with the shooting. And get this, just 10 days later, a Marine reservist turned anti-fascist activist was arrested for firing one of those weapons. Okay? Suspect in Texas ICE shooting tied to trans anti-fascist activism. Benjamin Song, an alleged ringleader, is former Marine Corps reservist, trained left-wing activist for close-quarter combat and large-scale gunfights. Okay? This is what we are up against. Okay? And it's not just, this is just a microcosm. And this is what I was trying to explain to one of my friends. We were having a civil discussion about this, is that multiple things in this current the Kirk assassination can be true. We could be dealing with a genuine effort from a trans Antifa, trans Tifa activist, left-wing terror cells who actively want to see violent uprising and unrest. I mean, it was in Tyranny Response Tuesday yesterday. The whole Utah. What was it? What was it called? armed queers or whatever it was. The Utah group. Let's scroll down. It was right here. No, that was something different. But that was another local issue. Yeah, the armed queers SLC leader now confirmed. This whole narrative is a very grounded in reality narrative, right? And these extremist groups have been radicalized by leftist, communist, Marxist, destroying the family, destroying identity, destroying culture, like this mindset, this rot and erosion. And then you have the TBQAILMNOP 1 2 3 9er 5er, right? This ideology that poisons the well, and then anyone who doesn't agree to them is a radical, right? That's how we get the radicals, okay? And so this is all grounded in what I would argue is very much reality, okay? Do I have one? No, that's not the one. That's not it. I'm trying to find it. A
show of power in whatever force borders.
No, that's not it. That's Sam Hyde. Let's see here. Let's show this.
I want to dedicate this next one.
Hold on. Let's see. Am I going to be able to? Is it going to be able to play without it buffering? But this will feed us into the larger conspiracy land, right?
I want to dedicate this.
Why aren't you playing? Are you going to be able to play for me without it just like being a loser? Hold on. Let me see. What do we got here? Trying to operate everything and make sure it's all good.
I want to dedicate this next one.
I don't know why it's not playing.
To an absolute piece of shit of a human being.
This is Bob Vineland or whatever the fuck his name is.
The pronouns were.
He told everyone to calm down. This is the leftist rhetoric we're dealing with. Why aren't you? Hold, please. Just having a difficult time operating for some reason.
Were.
Is it because it's not like downloaded?
Because if you chat shit, you will get banned.
Well, you heard it. You might not have seen it, but calls to, he wasn't calling to violence, but he was celebrating Kirk's death. Okay. This is another broken angle from the leftists that they're trying to spin this broken narrative of hold on, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here, folks. Apologies. Okay. Let me see if I can do my Jordan Peterson voice. So the shooter was deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology, according to everyone who knew him. So what you're saying is he was a Republican? Right? This is how much they stretch the truth. The shooter was deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology, according to everyone who knew him. This is how the reality, right? This is the broken structure in what we're dealing with. Is that very fundamental facts have come to light in the last 24 to 48 hours of a lot of people basically addressing that the current suspect was recently in his later years radicalized by leftist ideology to instill extremism against Charlie Kirk and others in that ilk. But you have leftists still spitting the narrative. You still have Jimmy Kimmel up there saying that none of this is real. Like this one, like this little fuckhead. This asshole on my Instagram, or not Instagram, on my fucking Facebook. This person is mentally broken and mentally lost. So he posted this, right? Posted this, I can't remember, yesterday or the day before. Okay? It's the stupidest fucking meme. So MAGA, upon hearing about Charlie Kirk being murdered with a lion and making America great, the left just shot fired the first civil shots of the Civil War. They are terrorists and they're coming for us. Let me try that again without a burp. The left just fired the first shot of the Civil War. They are the terrorists and they are coming for us. That's the lion, right? And then the other side, apparently in some magical la la land, some Looney Tune fucking upside down clown world, the leftist logic, MAGA, after finding out the shooter was part of Nick Fuentes' Groyper army, who routinely disrupted Kirk's rallies because they didn't feel he was far right enough. Is that really the case? With the little kitten on the side with the MAGA hat. Now is not the time to point fingers. The left is still pushing this fact, this undeniable lie. Okay? The fact, regardless of the deeper roots, and there might be the larger narrative of who's to gain, and it's the larger international motives, and we'll get into that in a second. But the left is trying so hard. They are trying so hard to retain the narrative that it was a right-wing person who believed that Kirk wasn't far right enough. Which makes it makes no sense. Like, the left is literally grasping at straws so hard right now, it's fucking laughable. But this dude is an epic piece of garbage. And it makes me sick every time I see his stupid fucking posts on my channel. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, because they're gonna continue to push this shit out. Okay, they just like this one. Let me see if I can zoom this down. I saw this one, and I saved this, and I'm like, give me a fucking break. This whole Groyper army bullshit, pointing the finger at fucking Nick Fuentes. The left, it was a Groyper. The center, it was a Groyper. The Groypers, it was a Groyper. I'm a Groyper. MAGA Republicans, it was a radical left trans Antifa. Folks, there is a lot of evidence pointing to that. Okay? There's a lot of evidence pointing to that. And then, let's go over here. Okay? Let's go over here. Listen. Okay? This guy apparently is in prison. He was a follower of Kirk. Not Kirk. He was a follower of Fuentes. Okay. The shooter was a big fan of Nick Fuentes. This was posted January. I don't. How do we where are we even getting this information? And why are we even pulling this like this? Okay. This is from September 13th. Do not fall for the disinformation on the internet. I'm only bringing this information out there so that people are aware that there are people who like this one, for example. Okay, can I post this picture? This one, okay? They post this picture like suddenly he's, this is the end all be all. Okay? You can be raised in the conservative family and be radicalized. College does a lot to a person. I actually know several people who I used to talk with and be very close to prior to them going to college, and I knew their worldview prior to them going to a university, and within 2 to 3 years they had nose piercings and purple hair and growing their armpits out as women. It is very common to see left-wing radical indoctrination at a rapid, unparalleled pace in universities. You see it all the time. Okay? I'm not discrediting that this is an authentic photo, that he might have thought it was funny, but he's riding it's a Halloween costume of him riding on Trump's shoulders. I mean, what the fuck? Honestly, it's like, what is that even how is that even holding water, I saw this one too. Okay? It's just I'm trying to make sure that everyone's aware that there are people on both sides. There are people on multiple different sides. Okay? FBI arrest charges incel for threatening to commit terror attacks at TPUSA conference, possession of child. Yeah. So this is the same. Yeah. Velasquez has been charged with making threatening interstate communications by San Antonio FBI, charged with Tampa police. This was back in August of 2022. So there are radicalized people on all sides. We cannot deny that, you know, and I think that there's a larger narrative at play here with the whole Nick Fuentes thing.
Will have to kiss the ring.
I don't even want to really play this because I really hate his fucking voice, honestly. But like half of his shit is a fucking shill gimmick. Like it's just so fucking plastic. He seems like such a little fucking weasel, like a little shit stick weasel. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, folks. Let me know what you think. I mean, yeah, he talks about this whole America First thing and he bats his hand around. But I mean, honestly, what the fuck is he though? Really? I don't want to play this. I don't even want to play him. He's a little fucking weasel. In my opinion, the Groyper angle is a desperate attempt to twist the narrative into a right wing terrorist angle. I think it's fucking stupid. We're gonna, you know. And then this other one, I'm gonna give this one about 2 seconds, but I fully disagree. Someone literally thinks. I don't even know what they're trying to show. I don't even know what they're trying to show. You know? Charlie Kirk had a special effects squib pack set up attached to his back. This is the most ridiculous thing I've seen yet. And it's an embarrassment and it's a shame that anyone would ever even think to go out to think that that this was staged. This is a fake body double bullshit. Like, call you out right there, then and there. The man is dead. The family lost a father, and the wife lost a husband, and a whole movement has spawned in light of his loss. Shame on anyone who thinks that this man was a stunt double, and that he was wearing a mask, and it was a blood pack, and you know, it makes me sick. Okay, I'm gonna play this Alex Jones clip really quick, and then we are gonna wrap into the last little more grounded in reality, yet still in this ether of unknown. Okay, this one here. Okay, this is from Uncensored AI. I'm gonna get into that. You know. Take a close look at many of the groups that we're seeing overrepresented in celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Teachers, healthcare professionals, government workers. These are not radical blue-haired freaks. They are highly indoctrinated Democrat rank and file. Do you want these people teaching your children or taking care of your health? That's the real question. Little tangent, little segue. Okay. Okay, I'm going to... Like I said, multiple things can be true at once. I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust the gun narrative. I think the whole gun narrative is fucking weird, stupid. I don't like it. The photos that I got, the initial photos that we got of the suspect gun, whether it was in a box or not, it's irrelevant. The fact that they talk about it like it was an old weapon and it had to be disassembled, and the photo that the photo that was released none of it adds up. The Discord chat is very strange, and the Discord chat talks very much like it's maybe not, you know, I might be overthinking it, but maybe it wasn't written by the FBI, or maybe it was transcribed by the FBI, so it looks strange with all the punctuations and whatnot. But let's just say it wasn't transcribed by the FBI. Let's say it was written very scripted by the suspect and the roommate to make sure that we're shifting the narrative and taking the blame, like the whole Breaking Bad narrative that Matt Walsh speaks of. That's very likely too. Okay, oh no, I need to make sure that my grandfather's rifle and how would my father ever think of it? My father, in which was very much a MAGA supporter for a very long time. Do you remember when I was engraving those bullets? Like, that's not how you talk to someone who would most likely already know that information. It's a very when we go to film school, we call that an exposition dump. And it's, it falls in line with this whole narrative of an orgy of evidence, right? Everything's pointing to this. Everything's pointing to this. And I still say question everything. We're still living in a very fluid time and a fluid sense of reality right now. However, when we get these Discord chats and this chat log, it's very reminiscent of an exposition dump in a film or in a movie where it basically says, man, if only we have the secret key that unlocks the supercar that gets us, we can beat the race. The only way to beat the race is to make sure we have this car. And luckily, this car's extra special key is in a warehouse, and I know the way to the warehouse. So hurry, let's go to the warehouse. Like, you're rather than showing the people in the movie what has to be done, you are dumping all this information on them, right? That's what I feel is happening right now. The FBI, we caught the shooter, after 2 false arrests, and he turned himself in. He didn't really turn himself in, but he was turned in by his dad, allegedly. That is the story, the going narrative right now. So let's play this video from Alex
The Israel
Jones.
lobby is trying to hijack the memory and the idea.
So, and this is going to get more into the multiple things can be true at once, and I'm actually going to prime this with my conversation that I had with my friend. Let's see here. I have to pull it up over here. Where is it? Through this chat? I want to gotta find it here. I asked these questions, right? I'm gonna give you a quick rundown because 133 people voted. Okay, this is the chat here. I will show you. I will gladly show you. This is 133 people in our little circle voted. 1 week later, what do we think? 4% think that he was murdered and they arrested the real killer. Case closed. 41% think Kirk was murdered and they arrested the patsy, and it's a huge psyop. 17% think that Kirk is still alive and it was completely staged, a deep fake. 29%, I have no idea, but they're lying. 0% says, I have no idea, but I trust the government narrative. I love that. Thank you. There is faith in our friend circle that 0% picked that. I don't think anyone would have picked that anyways. And then 9%, I don't like to vote. Just show me the poll. And there's always going to be those people. But a majority of the people involved, the majority of our network, believe that he was murdered and they arrested a patsy. And that's I picked that too. That's where I picked. I genuinely believe that there is a larger narrative at play, and we're never really going to know the whole truth. And that's, I think, a reasonable position. We have to question healthily question everything, right? But I said, He broke it down, said, they've been lying to us about 9/11, COVID, Butler, so many things, and but now they have credibility. And today the FBI director says the Epstein didn't traffic minors to anyone. So a lot of this thing aligns with the questioning, the constant questioning, and not trusting the government, right? And I responded, I said, I'm not necessarily buying it. I've criticized the gun narrative, the old man, that crazy old man, what's his name? Oh my God. The guy that's like literally mentally deranged, that wants to be a part of everything important, that said, shoot me. I talked about it yesterday. I don't even, the old man that was also in the 9/11 documentary, and he was the guy that went to jail for a year because that Salt Lake City bomb threat or some crazy shit. But so much is going down the identical same 9/11 narrative line. And that's where I'm at. There's so many things that are just like questionable what if, uncertainties, but it all is trying to point to this, it's all pointing to this certain narrative, right? I also am not going to be one of these people that immediately before Charlie Kirk's body was even cold was going out there yelling, "It's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews," because so many people immediately assume that it's the Jews always. And it fucking annoys the shit out of me when everyone always falls to the same narrative without critically thinking for themselves, without objectively looking at all the evidence and trying to formulate your own opinion, you know? Trying to formulate what is the best motive, the reason for everything, right? I'm sick of it. Of the whole it's the Jews narrative. Now don't get me wrong. I think, like I said in my last stream, you know, drinking a glass of juice a day is good for your health. I asked this on my live stream. I'm going to ask it right now. How is the public reacting? Who benefits from Kirk's death? What is the end goal? And what are our next steps as a society, as a nation, right? And he responded with a very deep response, and I appreciate the response. Yeah, it's just very tough. So I'm gonna post this video from Alex Jones right now.
Identity. The Israel lobby is trying to hijack the memory and the identity of Charlie Kirk. No, I don't believe Israel did it because there's no evidence. Maybe they did. But Israel is definitely trying to hijack
the outcome,
the memory and the person of Kirk. And that's what Tucker's doing, is putting the truth out. Charlie Kirk told me the same things he told Tucker Carlson. But he also said those things. And Ted Cruz says he's lying.
Who do we trust?
I don't want to fight with Ted Cruz, but I have to. Ted Cruz
is a fucking swamp monster.
I don't know if they got footage of Ted Cruz having sex with a poodle or something.
Of course they did. Come on.
That's a joke, folks. I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's a total joke.
Or sex with a goat or something.
Well, he doesn't he have dual citizenship to Canada or
he literally licks the ass of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
He's got his face so far up his ass. I'm sorry for the gross analogy, but that's the only that's the analogy that fits, so I'm using it.
Funded by AIPAC.
And that's what people are sick of.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't want to blow Israel off.
No. I'm gonna tangent. How much of our government has been bought and paid for through AIPAC? How can we have an honest and representative government that does honest, integrity-focused things if they're being paid off through a foreign lobby? Okay, I'm just going to ask you that.
I'm sorry for the gross analogy, but that's the analogy that fits, so I'm using it. And that's what people are sick of. I don't want to blow Israel off the map. I don't have a hard on for Jews. But at the same time, I'm sick of being sued by ADL-backed groups. I'm sick of Israel trying to pass anti-free speech laws. I'm sick of it.
You have to see it for what it is, folks.
And we're sick of having America's name on the dead Gazans. And we're sick of you trying to drag us into war.
100%.
And you got the most unpopular approval rating in the world. And Ted Cruz says you go to hell if you don't support Israel. That's not in the Bible.
That's fucking nuts.
John the Baptist got his head cut off by Herod. He was criticizing the Jewish government. Jesus Christ went and beat the money changers in the temple with a whip.
Jesus was also crucified by the Jews, right?
That's a lie. Paid for and parroted by the Christian Zionists. But I also won't join the Nazis.
Right.
In all of their weird behavior. And how they say everything in the world.
Crazy, wild level of shit.
Is Israel's fault.
Right.
When there's enough evil to go around, and changing this stuff is an inside job with our relationship with God.
Yep. No, I agree with that. Right. There's a whole larger thing at play. I'm gonna be making more of this. I'm gonna make more videos tomorrow, doing another little breakdown. But I wanted to bring up this, because that's a funny picture. Where is it? I want to get to. So I had this saved for 2 weeks, and I was gonna fucking play this because this video was about Epstein files and with Mike Benz. Okay. Ironically, it was with Charlie Kirk. So let's take a listen. I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing, but I want to hear the opening, and then we'll maybe find this later bit where Charlie speaks. Where is it where Charlie speaks? Now, this is a whole Mike Benz segment. But this is the episode.
Mike does a wonderful job. Mike, thank you for taking the time. So, Mike, I want to keep our conversation very focused on what can be done. A separate time we could talk about all the unanswered questions, of which there are aplenty, and the messaging fumble and all of that. If you were advising the President of the United States, if President Donald Trump called you up and said, Mike, what should I do that is reasonable, what would you tell him to do?
I would tell him to have Pam Bondi walk down the hallway at Main Justice to the Office of Professional Responsibility, OPR, and pull all files related to the November 2020 OPR report that evaluated Jeffrey Epstein's 2008 plea deal.
So I played this video a long time back, but this whole thing is in specifically discussing the Epstein files and the Epstein reports.
She should release.
That's the end at the kicker here, and it's a little so Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt because that was very important. We're going to go long here, by the way, so we're going to be able to cover this from all dimensions. So based on your original point, that OPR Office of General Counsel transcript would be credible, right, and then potentially could be released. So that would fit within what you're talking about here, Mike Benz.
Exactly. Hard forensic evidence. I also believe that on the CIA side, you're not looking for blackmail. Look, I'm not saying blackmail didn't happen. I don't know if it did or didn't, but I don't see the evidence that it did, and it would.
So there's a lot of people thinking. I wanted to show you that, and I wanted to show you this. Basically, wrapping up that a lot of people. I don't want to show that. I'm sorry, I don't want to show that. But a lot of people were saying that there was a second shooter in a different area, a tangent to the top of the building, right? So this was the guy at the top of the building. A lot of people are saying that there might have been a shooter over here to the south. Okay. But where is it?
Come out, and I checked the raw footage. It's real. It's not been doctored. I checked the raw footage. It's real. It's not been doctored from what I can see. And you do see, just like we saw with Trump, if you slow it down, after the bullet grazes his ear, but you see when it's coming in. It's like a streak. And here you do see in multiple camera angles what looks like a bullet being caught coming down in some of the frames. You see in an open window back up behind about 70 yards away,
I don't like
you see a muzzle flash.
Keep your eye on this space here where the red circle is as the next clip plays. To me, I first seen this and thought straight away, holy shit, that is the bullet. It matches the exit wound. It also matches the shirt puffing up and the angle of the entry and exit. I needed another angle just to see if this was actually fact, trying to get as much info as I could before I posted anything. And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself.
We're not counting gang violence. Great.
I didn't see anything up there.
Again, I needed another angle.
Fuck. I don't like seeing that. I don't like watching this. Sorry. Can we do this? Maybe let's do like this. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Fuck. I don't like seeing it.
I found this video, and this one's a little bit harder to see, but you can see something go down into the back right-hand side of Charlie's.
No.
This point of view, I'll just swing this around so we can get
talking about the stairs.
A better idea of what's around here. You can see there's rooftop access there, but there's also
this is
the staircase,
the south side
down in the little alley there, in that little nook. So
this is all speculation. This is all theory.
To me, it's pretty obvious that
subscribing to any of
the
this.
shooter was most likely
I'm just bringing this out to light because this is we have to bring all this out to
somewhere on those stairs would be my.
Because I don't want to just fall hook, line, and sinker to the FBI's narrative that this textbook, bing, bang, boom, orgy of evidence. It's all there. The exposition dump, like I was saying earlier. The more that they just give it all to us, it's all open. It's all up in the. It's all this. What is the end goal? What is the end goal for that? The end goal is to fundamentally target radical trans leftist groups, which I 100% agree that there are cells across this nation that are categorically doing this. They are aware and they are being involved. They are being radicalized across this country. But dumping all of this exposition out there, dumping all this information, all of this evidence, pointing to like sirens and bells and whistles. We got the shooter, folks. We got the shooter. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? Like, this is what they're doing. When the FBI can't even give us the information about the Epstein files, they obfuscate that. They have gotten no COVID arrests. They still continue to shill for these foreign countries and the APAC funded governments. So I'm just trying to say, like, if we're going to be pointing fingers at them for all of these other things, we cannot take this story hook, line, and sinker all the way through as well. So that's why we have to be objective. We have to be honest. We have to be critical about everything that we're getting, and we have to make sure that this suspect isn't Lee Harvey Oswald in transition somewhere, or he's suddenly Epstein's himself. Because if that happens, everything, nothing's on the table anymore. Everything's for grabs now. But I'm just putting all this information out there so we understand that there are alternative scenarios and alternative theories. Some are outstandingly stupid, ridiculous. The fact that they think that it's a stunt double and Charlie faked his death, preposterous, ridiculous, and a disgrace to his name. Would never suggest that. There's also people that think it's Ashkenazi Jews that tunneled under the ground that staged a fake hand. There's a handgun, a little secret pew pew thing that came out of a secret turret from the ground. Like crazy, outlandish shit just as well. But there are things that do make you question. Like me, for example, the Discord chat. And this random the George Zinn character who wanted to make his name known and got arrested. Now he's arrested. He got shot with the child abuse camera, the child abuse ray gun. Apparently they caught him for photos of child harm and child abuse, right? That kind of information, if you will. But before that, he was in jail for a year for a bombing with the SLC marathon. So that character is a whole wackaloon angle on this too. Okay? And then the gun. The whole gun. The fact that it was an older model Mauser, questioning the serial number, this, that, and the other. But the photo that I had, the photo that I got received from a credible source, that ain't no older model Mauser. If anything, that's a store-bought 308 or a 30-06. Off a fucking Bass Pro Shop shelf, right? There's a lot of things I don't trust. So we have to be objectively questioning. And then on top of that, you think about, okay, well, if it did come from the angle that they say it was, why is the backdrop that was behind Charlie? Is there any evidence of where the bullet went behind Charlie if it came from where it did? If it came from where it did, there should be a traced mark, whether it's in the ground or in the building or some sort of retrieval of that bullet from behind that trajectory point, right? Give me that evidence. I'd like to see that evidence, because this current theory here in this video says is what we saw in the footage that I never want to see again is an exit wound, and it's coming from the stage right. Or excuse me, yeah, stage right, excuse me. Yeah, I think that's right. So they're claiming that it came from the far.
If the FBI aren't looking there, I don't know
left side. If you're staring at the camera, and I'm not going to watch the whole thing. It's 23 minutes long, but you can watch this on the Alex Jones video. I will share this video, and we'll talk about it. But I want everyone to just be critical on all these things, right? Because yeah, the George Zinn guy, fucking nutcase. I'm just tired of being swindled and deceived and lied to and manipulated. I want to make sure that we question everything. And Ron Paul, bless his heart, bless his soul. Ron Paul brings a really grounding feeling to this whole narrative. I encourage everyone to check this out. It's on my page. It's on my channel. What Ron Paul said about Charlie Kirk. It's a 4-minute long video. Highly recommend, because it is important to stay grounded. And Ron Paul does a very good job addressing that. It's all on my X page, folks. And I wanted to just quickly wrap up. I'm probably going to post another video tomorrow. But we're never. All of this is very new. It's very fresh. It's very bleeding edge stuff, right? And I want just to make sure that we are all aware. Yeah, I got everything. I think I got everything. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate everyone listening. I know it's been one calendar week, and it's been a very difficult one. A lot of energy siphoning, a lot of emotions, a lot of passion, a lot of anger. And I want to let everyone know that you are not alone. There are so many people out here, millions of people across the country and the world feel this way. And, we have to say, everyone who gave us a hard time, gave all these evil leftists that cheered for Charlie's, demise. They are exactly that. They are evil. We cannot participate or give them the time of day, because we know in our heart of hearts what we feel to be true. And when we see a good man, whether it was a disagreeable man in some lights, see shot down in cold blood from an extremist ideology, whoever did that, whether it was a patsy or a psyop or whatever, someone had the intention to spark anger, fear, sadness, and division in America that day and that moment. And I, for one, do not want to participate in a decline of America. I want to see, and I think Charlie would agree, that I want everyone to see us rise above this and galvanize in truth and in honesty, in Charlie's name, in freedom for all, progressing liberty, truth, and what it means to be living in one of the greatest countries in the world. Whether regardless of the fact that we might be run by a bunch of cabal, evil elitists who want to see nothing but a soulless and energy siphoned, disgusting, godless, familyless, despotic, dystopian world, whether they're in control or not, regardless, we have the power right here, right now, every day to network with each other, network with our fellow men and women and people of like mind, of sound mind, to have critical conversations, to have difficult conversations, to come together and say, what can we do to make this world a better place? And that's why I do what I do here on Break the Chains Media. That's why I stand strong in truth, in justice, in liberty. Folks, I am going to be wrapping up here. I've got a lot of work to do ahead of me. Tomorrow, I'll probably make a short video, and I am going to be releasing my video from my Liberty on the Rocks live event. So you'll be able to see that and catch that all this weekend. A lot of good things are happening. A lot of things are changing. The wheels are consistently churning here in Break the Chains Media Studios, as well as the globalist narrative, as well as the freedom narrative. There are lots of wheels turning. There are lots of agendas moving forward, but we have to stay strong in our morals, in our morality, in our truth, in our conviction for what we stand is right, passion, truth, liberty, freedom, justice. I am not Superman, so I will not say the American way. But however, when you look at my X account, I did change up how my X account looks. Post Charlie Kirk, I was thinking about it. I did have a lot of my Americana, flag and all this stuff going on, but I think this is a much more fitting vibe to the current state of things for Break the Chains Media. The chains are hanging and the fires are burning, but we are still persevering in this world and in this fight against Agenda 2030, against globalism, against foreign lobbyists in this country, against compromised politicians, against evil corporations and evil factions that want to destroy the family, destroy the identity, destroy the self, destroy liberty, destroy freedom. That is what we do here at Break the Chains Media. We want to make sure that everyone has a slice of a great world and the most potential, the best opportunity for upward mobility in this world, and we have to speak truth to power. So with that, folks, I appreciate everything. I appreciate everyone here. Make sure to share this video. Make sure to share this with your family and friends. Give me a thumbs up. Give me drop a comment, drop a like, and make sure that don't fear the world around us. Just focus on what you can achieve. Set a goal for yourself and move forward in that mindset one day at a time. All we can do is make sure that our lives are in a better place. We have to push ourselves one step beyond, because if we are living in an uncertain time, if we are living in a post-Kirk era, if we are the wheels are grinding towards an Agenda 2030 mindset in which the globalists would like to achieve, we have to be ahead of them. So how do we be ahead of them? By making ourselves better, living a better life. So with that, folks, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of Break the Chains Media. And until next time, fight for freedom and never give up.